When we moved here to the homestead, I knew I wanted chickens. So we fixed up an old goat shed on the property and adapted it for chickens. And I remember picking up our hens as well as some of our baby chicks and being so excited with the idea of our own free-range eggs. I soon learned that everything eats chicken. We started to see all the various wildlife come around. We came home to see a hawk eating one, a giant owl camped out on a post in our front yard to watch our chickens. Raccoons came and chased the chickens out into the woods. And slowly, between the weasels and fishers, foxes and coyotes, and, well, you get the picture, soon we had no chickens left. Since then, we've tried chickens at least 2 more times, and it usually meant me running out into the darkness chasing who knows what after hearing our chickens screaming for their lives. Sooner or later, they all died, so when we decided to add chickens to our homestead again, I said that I wasn't going to have chickens again unless we did things right. This time, we had to make our coop completely predator-proof, and we realized that the reality was we cannot free-range our chickens unless we're able to watch them. So we needed a large enough run that the hens could be in it at least 90% of the time, year-round, and most importantly, we were not going to get the chickens until we had finished the coop. After all, this is where we had went wrong so many times in the past. But, as many of you know, chickens can be a bit of an impulse buy. So when I saw the opportunity to get Chanticleers, we scooped them up, but that meant we had to hurry up and build their home. I started looking online for coop ideas and piecing the different ideas together into the coop and run I wanted, and then trying to be realistic in what we could actually afford to invest. And I say invest because even with all the materials we already had to use, it was still quite an investment. And as things happened to go in the real world, we ended up with a terrible flu that absolutely zapped us of our energy and left Gord sick and mostly in bed for a whole month. At times, Gavin was pretty sick during the process, so needless to say, we were not going to be sawing our own wood for the project, which would have really brought the cost down.
So we put a rock wall in here because the site wasn't level, and now we're
do the same thing out there, put a barrier so it didn't wash away.
And now we're backfilling with some gravel.
Since we knew this was going to be a permanent building, we wanted to be careful with the spot we selected. We wanted a spot not too far from the house so I could enjoy looking out and watching them, as well as for convenience and to discourage predators. The only spot that seemed perfect was on this hill. We really enjoy watching them while we're eating breakfast and doing dishes. We can also see them from our living room, so this means we can really keep an eye on them, which is good because shortly after finishing their run, I looked out to see a fox right outside the run watching them. Needless to say, we're glad they weren't free-ranging when she came by. Thankfully, we already had this 1/4-inch mesh, which I had bought at a good price previously for another project, which just never happened. Our idea, instead of having 4x4 posts, was to sandwich the mesh in between 2 2x4s, hopefully making a wall that would be very secure from predators. We figured if we started with the run, predator-proofed it, and then made a makeshift shelter in it for the time being. Knowing how hardy Chanticleers are, we knew they would be fine, and this would give us some time to get well, as well as gather supplies for the coop. Through all the loud construction, the hens have remained surprisingly calm.
You got it on the line?
So Ethan's putting up the collar ties. We have to strap that, and then we're missing 2 rafters and 2 collar ties here, which we might have to get some more supplies first. But it's coming along. And while he's doing that, we're going to start making the bottom of the fencing secure. So we've cut some strapping to fit in between, and that's just going to sandwich it so that no animals can go in or out. Ethan is measuring out and marking the spacing for the strapping. We are getting really close to being ready to put the roof on. I apologize for all the noise. It was a really windy, cold day. With all the sickness that was going around, Ethan pretty much put the roof on by himself. So unfortunately, we just don't have any footage of it. So the guys are just building the floor of our chicken coop, and we've already put the hardware cloth as a barrier from them digging into the run, in case anything can squeeze underneath, because we're putting this floor on some cottage pads. So after we're done building the floor, we're going to put some motor oil on the bottom, help preserve it. A little cheaper than pressure treated. So we've oiled anything that was near the ground, and now we're starting to put the floor on.
Ethan, go get the...
The end of the day?
Yep. 6 o'clock or more.
End of day one. All right, so tell us what we got here, Dad.
Floor.
Yes, we got a floor.
Walls.
For my chickens. And we got the walls strapped.
No, that's right.
So we should go walk over and find our metal.
Sure.
Yeah. You can go eat. Nobody invited you. It's a date. Dad and I are walking to look at metal. So we're at day 2, and we're putting up rafters and preparing to put the roof on. So we are probably nearing the end of day 2, and most of the roof is on this side. Hopefully we'll get the roof on the other side. It'd be nice to get the ridge cap on, but I don't want to push it too hard. It's supposed to rain, I think, all day tomorrow, so if we can get the roof on, maybe we can work inside, or maybe that'll just be it until they get another chance. Almost done. We are back at her today, and we are siding with some salvaged metal, and they put a nice window in for me so that we can get some ventilation, also salvaged, obviously. And at the back, in our door, I found these, I have 3 little windows, but I'm just going to use 2. And we're going to put those in this opening here so that we can also have those prop open. So yeah, it's coming together. I'm excited. And it's a beautiful day. It was supposed to rain all day today, but God is good and answered our prayer. We have siding on this side, On the side, we got the window in, although we still need to find a way to put hardware cloth on it. Or we might try some predator-proof screen. And we have sided this side as well. And we started the doors. I was looking for a way to cut cost on the interior walls, and I found these wonderful pieces of plywood that used to be skid tops. They were $5 each, 3/8 inches thick, and they will work perfectly for the walls as well as the floor because we're going to have a piece of plastic on top of them on the floor. So by the time we're done, the floor will be 1/2 inch thick and it's going to work out perfectly. We also were able to use them on the doors. We have everything ready for the little chickie poos. I didn't buy enough hemp, so we're just gonna kind of keep them in this area hopefully and put some boards around and hope they don't spread it too much. So let's see how they do. So there's a lot of new noises for them. But they're familiar with their feeder and their water, so I think it shouldn't take them too long. It's been a couple hours since I put them in. They seem to be happy, pecking and scratching and eating and drinking. They did knock over my board, so I am going to have to go pick that up because they are going to spread that hemp everywhere and won't have enough. Hopefully tomorrow or someday soon I'll be able to run out and grab some more. As you can see, we use a rabbit water and they seem to like that. It's been working for us for the last couple of weeks. Much less messy than the chicken waters. If you like this kind of stuff and want to see us finish our dream coop, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and have a blessed day.